We make a career of humanity when we do all the good we can, in all the ways we can, in all the places we can, at all the times we can, to all the people we can, as long as we ever can.
Of course, serving others does help us. It helps us understand our place in the world. It helps us have perspective.
We are developing friendships. We are finding joy in being able to help another person. And
it has a residual, reciprocal effect of allowing me my own personal development and growth through a spiritual lens.
We have to be careful, too, and not make it too much about ourselves.
You know, the ultimate thing is that when we serve our fellow men, we are forming a partnership with God.
We are like trees that bear fruit. We bear fruit of love and joy, peace, goodness, and more.
Think about building a better world. To me, what that looks like to me is just really getting in front of the mirror, looking at the person in the mirror, and looking at how I can improve myself every single day.
There's a need for less judgment and less blame and less othering.
Refusal to participate in devaluing of life, personhood, and othering is something we all can do.
I think it has to start within ourselves. We have to, with the help of God, change our own hearts and be able to see people through God's eyes.
In Dr. King's words, we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Love is the answer. Love is core.
Love your neighbor is the most oft repeated phrase in the Torah. And Jewish tradition teaches that the world stands on three things: on truth, on justice, and on peace.
The tradition in our faith, it says, you do not believe until you love. You practice loving one another. You don't have faith until you practice loving one another.
And ultimately, we have to have that intentionality. We have to begin with the end in mind. What is our ultimate goal? What kind of world do we want to live in? And then we go to work.
Following our passion and use that passion, use that energy, use that synergy that comes from that, and offering that to the world, offering that to the space. I think that's a very practical way for us to improve ourselves, the world, and life in general.
It's not just about finding time to do good things. It's a posture. When we prioritize our desire for each other's welfare over our desire for more and more possessions, when we consider regularly how the way that we live our lives affects others, that's making humanity our focus. That's making it front and center. And then we don't have to think about it in each moment or when we're at a decision point. It's just how we live our lives.
Interfaith Action of Greater St. Paul has been celebrating the legacy of Dr. King and igniting the power of community for 120 years. Interfaith Action of Greater St. Paul serves the East Metro of the Twin Cities, led by people of faith and neighbors of goodwill, committed to growing opportunity and addressing both the causes and the consequences of poverty. Our work directly reflects the calls for service that Dr. King put forth by serving those in our community. We have truly made a career of humanity for 120 years. We are proud to have moved our family shelter project home into a new permanent location just this past summer at Bandana Square in St. Paul. This new location will help those needing permanent housing solutions by providing shelter as families move towards stability. This will be the 25th year that Interfaith Outreach and Community Partners has brought together people across the metro area to celebrate at the MLK breakfast. Each year, through these community-based watch parties, we gather together at satellite locations to hear great music, inspirational speakers, and learn about developing scholars and celebrating leaders of our community through the live feeds of the MLK breakfast. But we also do the same in the room, coming together for delicious food, warm fellowship, and providing inspiration and support for each other on a more local and personal level. For 25 years, these watch parties have been anticipated and a greatly enjoyed event. Together, Interfaith Action of Greater St. Paul looks forward to the future and our continued good work in Greater St. Paul through efforts just like the MLK Breakfast.
Has brought us facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with the steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our Father sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered, out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. our native land. True to our God, true to our native land.
Welcome to the stage, the 2026 Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Breakfast Committee Chair, Marcus Shaw.
Good morning, and welcome to the 2026 MLK Breakfast. Welcome to the over 3,000 people here in the room and those joining us online. I am truly humbled and honored to be here with you today. For those of you who don't know me, I am Marcus Shaw, Chair of the 2026 MLK Breakfast and HR Director at General Mills. There we go. For those of you who do know me, I'm as shocked as you are. It is my privilege to welcome you to the 36th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Breakfast. Before we get started, please join me in another round of applause for Billy Still and friends. We're happy to have them join us throughout the morning. I would be remiss to not acknowledge the incredibly challenging and honestly sad times we're experiencing in our city and country. Thank you for being here, for choosing to be here this morning, and for coming together with this incredible community to connect and uplift one another. I hope that this event this morning will bring light amidst the dark days that we've been experiencing. We have an exciting program planned for you, and we're in for a treat this morning as we welcome two keynote speakers, Freeman Hrabowski III and Soledad O'Brien. We look forward to hearing from each of them later in the program. At the outset, I want to acknowledge that, as has long been true with this breakfast, our political leaders are here. Leaders from across the aisle, across the Twin Cities, and in fact, across the state, serving at the local, state, and federal level. It is so vital that you are here in this room to mark this day. Thank you for joining us and celebrating with us this morning. I invite the members of our Minnesota National Guard to please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your commitment and service, and thank you to all those who served in our U.S. Armed Forces. I also want to give a special shout out to the Planning Committee, who have volunteered for months as we prepared for today's event, and I ask them to stand and be recognized. Come on, come on. A sincere thank you to each of you. It's good to make them blush once in a while. Thank you to our faith leaders who grounded us with reflections and messages we can take with us today and beyond. And lastly, thank you to my family, whom I love. They tolerate me, and I'm happy that they're here this morning. Some of you may ask, why are we here? It's early. It's always so cold on this day. Some of us have a day off of work or school, and there's a lot happening in our community. Heartache, fear, anxiety. We're here to come together as a community to remember and reflect on the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We're here to rekindle connections. We're here to be inspired. We're here to celebrate those who are going about doing good in our community. We're here to raise funds for students in the Twin Cities, and I hope we're here to commit to act on Dr. King's legacy, to be a little better, to be a little kinder, to love a little more. This year's theme is Make a Career of Humanity. As the HR guy, I am not asking you all to change your careers, okay? The theme is based on what Dr. King once said, quote, "Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a better person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in." Does anyone not want to be a better person? That's rhetorical. Does anyone not want to live in a greater nation or be part of a finer world? I begin with the end in mind. At the close of this program, there will be a call to action. So sadly for you, I'm coming back on this stage, okay? I invite each of you to consider 3 actions. One thing you will do today, one thing you will do this month, and one thing you will do this year, all to make a career of humanity. As you listen to the speakers and music this morning, consider what you personally will commit to doing. Is that a deal? Fair? All right, here we go. And now, on with the show. Thank you.
Please welcome General Mills, Head of Belonging and Community Impact, Courtney Schroeder.
Good morning. Good morning. On behalf of General Mills, I extend a heartfelt welcome to the 36th annual Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Breakfast. I don't know about you, but to be here right now, today, in community feels good. A moment to gather, a moment to reflect, a moment to renew our spirits and reinvigorate our purpose. General Mills is proud of our long-standing commitment to this breakfast and to the Twin Cities community. Since the 1950s, we've partnered with UNCF, as well as other organizations and individuals who embody the very spirit of Dr. King's work. Countless leaders whose vision, whose courage, and whose action we stand upon today. Leaders like Dr. Aretha Clark King. As well as leaders who are no longer with us. This past year, we said goodbye to Tony Green, co-founder of the MLK Breakfast and a true pillar of the Minnesota nonprofit community. Yes. Tony's vision, dedication, and unwavering commitment helped lay the foundation for this event and inspired countless others. Her legacy lives on, and we honor her memory today. Now, it is my distinct pleasure to announce our 2026 Community Recognition honorees, an organization and an individual who exemplify what it means to make a career of humanity. I think we can all agree that right now, more than ever, we are fortunate to have so many examples of organizations, leaders, and everyday people showing us what service, courage, and love for thy neighbor looks like. Our first honoree is the Headwaters Foundation for Justice. Round of applause, all right. Since 1984, Headwaters has been a beacon of hope and a catalyst for change. They empower grassroots organizations, fund innovative solutions, and consistently challenge us to build a more just society. Their work is a testament to Dr. King's vision, and we are proud to recognize their profound impact today.
Headwaters Foundation for Justice stands as a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of community-led change, making them a truly deserving recipient of the MLK Breakfast Community Award. For nearly 4 decades, Headwaters has been steadfast in its commitment to empowering those most impacted by injustice, recognizing that the solutions lie within the communities themselves. Through their innovative giving projects, they foster collaboration, build bridges across divides, and provide critical resources to grassroots organizations working on the front lines of social change. Their dedication to racial equity, economic justice, and community well-being embodies the very essence of Dr. King's dream of a beloved community where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Headwaters' impact extends far beyond simply writing checks. They are building a movement for social change from the ground up. By providing training, mentorship, and technical assistance, they empower community organizations to become more effective advocates for their own needs. Their work is deeply rooted in the principles of nonviolence, peaceful dialogue, and collaboration, reflecting Dr. King's unwavering belief in the power of love and understanding to overcome hate and division. Headwaters Foundation for Justice offers a powerful reminder that lasting change is possible when we come together, listen to one another, and work towards a more just and equitable future for all. Headwaters Foundation for Justice, the 2026 Community Award winner.
Our second honoree is Speaker Melissa Hortman. A remarkable leader, a dedicated public servant, a tireless advocate for the people of Minnesota. Her contributions to our state were immense, marked by unwavering commitment to justice, to equity, and a commitment to the betterment for all Minnesotans. She championed legislation that impacted lives, and her leadership left an indelible mark on our political landscape and our communities. We are honored today to be joined by the Hortman family. In honor of Speaker Melissa Hortman and in recognition of her extraordinary life and work, I ask for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Her legacy of service, her courage, and her vision will continue to inspire us all. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with words directly from Dr. King himself. Whatever career you may choose, doctor, lawyer, teacher, let me propose an avocation to be pursued along with it. Become a dedicated fighter for civil rights. Make it a central part of your life. It will make you a better doctor, a better lawyer, a better teacher. It will enrich your spirit as nothing else possibly can. It will give you that rare sense of nobility that can only spring from love and selflessly helping your fellow man. Make a career of humanity. Commit yourself to the noble struggle for equal rights. You will make a greater person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in.
Please welcome UNCF Area Development Director, Laverne McCartney Knighton.
Good morning. This time last year was the beginning of a year of uncertain change in our nation, and here we are today, facing even more uncertainty in our own home, in our own street, our own neighborhood, and our own schools and places of everyday movement. Yet, we persist in being better and stronger than yesterday. We look to protect and care for each other like brothers and sisters, to remain united and to promote Dr. King's vision of peace and humanity during these trying times. On behalf of UNCF, Dr. Michael L. Lomax, President and CEO, Tawana Streeter, Vice President of Development for the Midwest Division, Lisa Rollins, Regional Development Director, and Gina Valerio, Development Associate, we extend our heartfelt thanks to General Mills, our presenting host partner for the past 36 years, for your unwavering belief in UNCF's mission. In good times and bad times, this Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday breakfast has been a highlight and mainstay of the Twin Cities, seen locally and nationally as one of the largest celebrations of Dr. King's holiday. What began as a vision from Tony Green and Dr. Aretha Clark King to bring community together has grown into what you are part of this morning, a living, breathing community committed to making the world more just, equitable, and compassionate. We rise to fight the good fight with faith, hope, love, resilience, and justice, to honor a man who challenged us to lift others, practice empathy, and use our voices for the least, the last, and the lost. Our children are watching. They are waiting. They are holding on to the hope that the change we say is coming will not erase their futures, but protect and expand them. Each of us is here today because we are not people without hope. Let us be inspired to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly. Now I want to take a moment to express UNCF's deep appreciation to our sponsors. First, our justice sponsor, Best Buy. Thank you for consistently showing us the power of belief and commitment in transforming young lives. In 2020, Best Buy and UNCF launched the Best Buy Scholars Fund to reduce financial barriers for students attending HBCUs. Partnered with their Best Buy Foundation Teen Tech Center initiative, students across the nation gain access to cutting-edge technology, mentorship, and career-building resources. Together, we are witnessing the transformative power of education. Thank you, Best Buy, for your steadfast commitment. To our enlightened sponsor, Target, thank you for 5 years of partnership through the Target Scholars Program. This program is more than a scholarship. It is intentional support that gets students of color to and through HBCUs with college success coaches, emergency student aid, and wraparound services that ensure students don't just arrive, but that they thrive. Your investment is creating brighter futures for students and for our community, so thank you. And to our Empower sponsor, C.H. Robinson, thank you for becoming one of our newest and strongest partners in just 3 short years. You came to us and asked, what can we do? And the answer and your impact has been more than we could have imagined. So thank you. And lastly, to our Awaken and community sponsors, thank you for your generosity, which has made today another resounding success. Because of you and all of our other sponsors, we have raised over $400,000, vital funds for talented, deserving local students and our 37 HBCUs. Now we want you to hear from 2 outstanding UNCF HBCU alumni, whose stories represent the very best of the human spirit. Please help me welcome to the stage Jalen Lee Sumlin and Zarina Cementelli. Yay! First, Jalen Lee Sumlin, a UNCF Target Scholar and a 2025 Clark Atlanta University alumna. Jalen carries herself with intention, confidence, and purpose. At Clark Atlanta, she consistently showed up as a leader building community, supporting students, and bringing authenticity and professionalism to every space she entered. Her success in the UNCF Target Scholars Program led her to a full-time role at Target, and today she is here to share her journey. Jalen, welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I am Jalen Lee Sumlin, a proud alumna of Clark Atlanta University, class of 2025, where I earned my degree in computer science. Today, I stand before you as a living example of what becomes possible when opportunity meets support. Through the Exelon HBCU Corporate Scholars Program and the Target Scholars Program, I received not only financial assistance, but access to internships, mentorship, and early career readiness that fundamentally changed the trajectory of my life. Because of the Target Scholars Program, I was blessed with 2 internships, experiences that directly prepared me for my full-time role as a software engineer at Target. The support of UNCF significantly reduced the financial burden of higher education for me. In doing so, they gave me something just as valuable as money: time and freedom. Freedom to focus less on survival and more on service. Because of UNCF, I had more time to pour into my campus community. I served as a student tutor, president of 2 organizations, one of which I founded, and was initiated into Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, where scholarship and service are lifelong commitments. I can wholeheartedly say I would not be here without UNCF, Target, or you. Dr. King reminded us that our careers should be rooted in humanity and justice. When we invest in students, we are not just funding degrees. We are investing in leaders, innovators, and community activists. So today I ask you to give to the students who come behind me. Give so they too can focus on purpose over pressure. Give so their brilliance is not limited by circumstance. And give because when you invest in them, you invest in a finer world for us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jalen. Next, we have Zarina Cementelli, one of our 2018 MLK Legacy Scholars and a 2022 Spelman College alumna. Watching Zarina's trajectory has been nothing short of inspiring. Her story is one of persistence against all odds, commitment to her dream, and the courage to be her own best advocate. She kept her head to the sky, and she achieved and surpassed every goal she set for herself. Zarina is what building a career in humanity truly looks like. Zarina, welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for having me. I am deeply honored to be here with you all to share how UNCF and General Mills changed the trajectory of my life. My name is Zarina Sementelli. I was born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota. From a young age, I always wanted to go to college, not just for myself, but because I believed that education was a pathway to stability for my family. I was raised by a single mother of 4 with limited resources. Housing instability and food insecurity shaped much of my childhood. We moved often, sometimes staying with relatives and sometimes in shelters. When I was 15, my family received an eviction notice that forced us to separate so we could each find stability. That separation led me to a transitional housing program that, for the first time, allowed me to remain in one school consistently. With stable housing and support of dedicated educators, I graduated from Como Park Senior High School and was accepted into my dream school, Spelman College. That acceptance was a victory, but like many first-generation college students, I still face the question of how to pay for college. And that's where UNCF and General Mills stepped in. Through scholarships, including the MLK Legacy Scholarship, they made my education possible. Because of that support, I graduated cum laude from Spelman College. Thank you. I went on to graduate from California Western School of Law in San Diego, where, thank you. Where I served as both the founder and president of the First Generation Law Students Association, as well as the president of the Black Law Students Association. Last year, I passed the California bar on the first try. And I will soon serve as a Judge Advocate General in the United States Air Force. That little girl who once dreamt of going to college is now an attorney committed to making a career of humanity. Because of the UNCF, I did not have to choose between education and survival. And when you give to the UNCF, you help ensure that students like me won't face the barriers of going to college, but instead have the opportunity to thrive. Thank you to the UNCF and General Mills for investing in my future and for believing in students like me. Now, before I leave, I would like to share a poem that I wrote that helps me to get through difficult times. I am a rapper, so let's do it. They say, so a man thinketh, then so he is. But what about a woman who feels better than her lived experience? Ain't no one hearing this. I'm trying to scream, but it's hard to make it out when I still could barely breathe. So I rise up, I won't be smothered by my circumstances. I've always been the underdog, so you should know what happened. I rose up and found my way, I had to dig it out. Undomesticated, belly aching, ain't been in the house. I just want a place to be, somewhere I could lay my head. A superficial sense of peace I only obtain when I'm dead. Even then it's circumstantial, living in this life of sin. If I can't battle with my sword, I guess I have to use my pen. Cause it's a spiritual battle. Make sure that I mow the lawn, cause every snake doesn't rattle, every bee doesn't sting, and every bird doesn't crow. I ain't trying to tame the wild, I'm better letting them go, letting them grow. Thank you.
Thank you. We celebrate the achievements of these two remarkable UNCF scholars and the thousands more like them across the nation. Their success is not theirs alone. It belongs to the communities that support them, and that's you, the mentors who guide them, and the shared dream that unites us, a dream of equity, justice, and humanity. When all students have equal access to succeed, their dreams become reality, and those realities inspire us all. So keep believing, keep building, and most of all, keep your head to the sky. Thank you.
Take me to the King. Don't have much to bring. My heart is torn to pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Just leave me there alone. I want to gaze upon your glory and sing to you.
Our first keynote speaker was a child leader in the civil rights movement in the 1960s. He is President Emeritus of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, having served as its president for 3 decades. A national expert on science and technology education for underserved populations, and a leading champion for social justice. Please welcome Dr. Freeman A. Rabowski III.
William Carlos Williams once said that it's difficult to find news in poetry, and yet men die miserably every day because of a lack of what's found there. And so I begin with words from our beloved Maya, who said at the installation of a president decades ago, "Lift up your eyes upon this day breaking for you, give birth again to the dream. Women, children, men, take it, this dream, into the palms of your hands, mold it into the image of your most public self, sculpt it into the shape of your most private need. Here on the pulse of this new day, may you have the grace to look up and out and into your sister's eyes and into your brother's face and say simply, very simply with hope, good morning. Good morning, Minneapolis. Give poetry a round of applause for poetry, for poetry, for poetry. When I was coming to Minneapolis, all of my friends from around the country had many things to say to me. The first thing, they texted me saying, Freeman, 0 degrees. Secondly, my wife said, baby, are you going to be safe? But third, they said, tell the people we believe in them. We believe in them. My little grandson that we were raising said, Papa, tell him I want to come and protest with them. My governor, Governor Moore, said, let them know we are with them. They said, we believe in Governor Walz. We believe in Mayor Fryer. We believe in Mayor Hurst. That we believe in Minnesota. We believe in Minneapolis. We believe in St. Paul's. I came here today to say, we believe in you. Give yourselves a round of applause. You represent for us in this country and in the world a beacon of hope. Give yourselves a round of applause. We listen to elected officials speaking words of truth to power. We listened to your legislators, your congresspeople, to your reforms that focus on dreams, that focus on family leave, that focus on mental health issues. Because the dreams that Sister Maya talked about had everything to do with the things every human being wants. To know that our families will be okay. Everybody wants to know the children are going to be okay. That we got fundamental rights, civil rights. Each of us has a story. A story. You know, this is what we in the South call, this is the North. You all might call it the Midwest, whatever. It's the North. Now, Baltimore is what I call the Upper South. One day we think like Philadelphia, the next day like Richmond. Been that way since the Civil War. But I'm really from the Deep South. I grew up in Birmingham. My sister president, Aretha Clark King, is from Georgia originally, and I'm from Alabama, all right? Now, we Southerners can really weave a story. Now, I'm a mathematician. How many of you all love math? This is a pretty nerdy group. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed, all right? I love mathematics. I get goosebumps doing math. You know, Maya said, each of us is a product of our stories, that our stories, we are a collection of everything we've been told as children, everything we have eaten, that we've smelled, things we remember, things we've forgotten. We're all those experiences. We're the products of those experiences. So I'm sitting in the back of church. I'm 12 years old in 1963. I use my wife's creams. Get old, you'll know what I'm talking about, all right? I'm not even ashamed. How many of you were not even in the world in 1963, had not been born? That is perfectly disgusting. Mayor Fry's parents didn't even know each other at that time. And Governor Walz was 1 year old. Perfectly disgusting. But here's the point. I'm sitting in the back of church, 12 years old. My parents are placating me, letting me do my math. I love that math. I'm doing my little algebra. And the man at the lectern, visiting pastor, his name was Dr. King. And he said, if the children follow me to march downtown, all of America will understand that even children know the difference between right and wrong, and they will go to jail. But the result will be they will be able to go to better schools. They meant the white schools. And all I could think about was I'd be able to go to a school where I would no longer have to use the hand-me-down books that came from the white schools. And I look up and I say, who is that guy? And they told me Dr. King. And I go home and I say to my parents, I want to do this. I want to march. What did my parents say? Absolutely not. And what did I say? You guys are hypocrites. At that time, folks, you did not tell your parents they were hypocrites. And what did they say? What did my daddy say? Go to your room, boy. I knew I was in trouble. The next morning they came in, they had not slept, and it scared me because they had been crying and praying. And they said, if you want to go, we will let you go. At that point, I became very afraid because I knew from the fact that some kids had gone that first day that there would be dogs and fire hoses. But I did go. It was very scary. And they taught us the importance of remaining nonviolent. And we did. But what they had to train us to do was to not allow the police to make us angry and to throw rocks. Now, what do you think they did to train us to remain nonviolent? They taught us the one thing the police could do to upset the children. What's the one thing you can do to children to upset them most? Who do you talk about to upset a child? Their mamas. And so they had to teach us not to allow them to say the things about our mothers. And so they taught us to sing, I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching on the freedom land. And if you could hear those, if you go back to the olds, you hear that singing. And the singing elevated us. The same way those two young women were elevating us as they told their story. And we did go to jail, and it was a horrible experience, but it was also an empowering experience. Because what it taught us was we don't let anybody define who we are. And no time to be a victim. That the fact was we were there to fight for our freedom, to be first-class citizens. And when we got up to the steps of City Hall, I'm leading my little group, and the police commissioner, Bull Connor, a mean man, says to me, what do you want, little nigger? And I look at him, and I'm so scared, and I said, sir, we just want to pray to be able to go to better schools. And he looks at me, he's so angry, and he says, and he spits in my face. And he picks me up and throws me into the police wagon. They take us to jail. We spend a week. And the police guards allow the bad boys to beat us up. Now, I was blessed. The one book they had in the jail were these Bibles. And I had my little group, and every time the bad boys would come at night, I would start reading the Bible aloud to my little kids. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The one thing the bad boys were scared of was the Lord. And so every time they'd come over, I'd go, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And the kids would repeat after me, and the bad boys left us alone. And we were able to get out of there after that week. But I never forgot how frightened we were. And we heard the other kids getting beat up as the guards laughed. And that was an experience with us all of our lives. And outside were our parents on days singing songs. And Dr. King said this, what you do this day will have an impact on children not yet born. Not yet born. Within a short period, we were out, things were better, we thought, and the people had negotiated for a different world in Birmingham, and all of a sudden, things began to open up. Before that time, we'd never seen a black policeman. We'd never seen anybody downtown Birmingham behind a cash register. The only people in any position downtown would be janitors. And Dr. King's people negotiated, and all of a sudden you began to see a black saleswoman. The things were better, but what happened? Within a matter of months, in September, we're sitting in church, at my church, sister church, right across town. We get a call on Sunday morning, 16th Street was bombed. And my little friends, 4 little girls, blown to pieces. My friend Denise, call her name, had been given a ring by her father that morning. They could not find her. They found the hand with the ring. For years, the children of Birmingham could see in their dreams that hand of that ring. And somehow, I was sent to the funeral to represent the children with a few other kids, and 3 of the families allowed those girls to be funeralized together. Imagine 3 little girls in their coffins, and Dr. King speaking, and he said this: life can be, with the mothers in the front of the church, he said, life can be as tough as steel. And I saw something I'd never seen before. I saw whites sitting in the front from different religions, priests, somebody Muslim, rabbis, and I saw white men crying for little black girls. I cried, and I asked my mama, why are they crying? And she said, there are good white people too. And I never forgot that scene. The pain of the black mother, the pain of those white men. And when Bull Connor died, while I was in college a few years later, my mother called me and said this: we pray for him and his family. And I said, Mama, I hate the man. I hate him. He mistreated me. How can you cry? And she said this, and I say this to America. She said he was somebody's child, and unfortunately, his mother taught him to hate people different from himself. What a sad life he led. What a sad life. Nobody taught him to love. How tragic, she said. And before I knew it, I was crying. And all of a sudden, it was an experience of catharsis. And the hatred left, because she said the hatred eats on the inside. Freeman, give it up. Give it up. And I'll never forget that experience, because the hatred was eating inside of me. And so I say to you today that when I saw that man shooting that wonderful mother, Renee Good, in the face, I thought about those little girls being blown to pieces. And I thought about the evil in that. And I thought about her name, that we must say her name, Renee Good. Because when those girls were bombed, people saw the protesting children, they saw the funeral, they called those girls names, as they are calling the name Renee Good right now, as they are videotaping your mayor, and they're videotaping your governor and others, and they're videotaping the protests, and your elected officials are saying, keep it peaceful, don't buy into anything about violence, no. But keep letting people know we do not accept evil. We do not accept evil. No, we do not. We do not accept lies. Give me a hand. We do not accept lies. We do not accept racism. As a country, we are better than this. We are better than this. We believe in the goodness of humanity, the goodness of humanity. Dr. King said, good, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. Let me say that again. I want you to repeat it after me. Good, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. And so I want you to think about that and listen to me saying this. Our thoughts, say words, actions, habits, character, destiny. Again, thoughts, words, actions, habits, character, destiny. I have spent my life since the foundation of civil rights working to produce scientists of color and others. People like Dr. King, the one you all know, Dr. Clark King, the black chemist, inspired me. My campus now produces more black kids who go on to become PhDs in science than anybody in the country. Give us a round of applause for that. One of my students is the first black woman in the world to create the Moderna vaccine. For that round of applause, Dr. And so I want you to get up on your feet and repeat after me. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, and repeat after me as I close. Thoughts, words, actions, habits, character, destiny. One more time. Thoughts, words, actions, habits, character, destiny. God bless you, Minneapolis. Thank you.
Please welcome one of our nation's most respected voices in journalism. She's an award-winning documentarian and author dedicated to telling empowering and authentic stories. A former CNN anchor, she has covered the major stories of our time. Inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame in 2023, she has received 10 Emmy Awards and 3 Peabody Awards, among many other accolades. Please welcome to the stage, Soledad O'Brien.
Good morning. I brought some notes and some clips of documentaries I've done that I wanted to share today. It is a privilege to be invited to have breakfast with you on this important day at this important time in our nation's history. There are corporate leaders who are here in this room, and community leaders who are here, and religious leaders who are here, and political leaders who are here. Hey, Governor. Hey, Mr. Mayor. Hi. You guys have been busy the last couple of weeks. Those of you in this room know who you are, who are leading by example at this moment in time. Here in a city that is making front page news, national news, every single day. A city that has become the center of overwhelming federal action and protests and counter-protests. History is being made in this city right now, and you know it. And I think you must be exhausted. Because I'm exhausted, and I don't live here. And traumatized, maybe even, because living what some of us just read about every morning is exhausting and traumatizing. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. That's Santayana, 100 years ago. And a half century later, Winston Churchill would modify it a little bit. He'd say, those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And we've seen, historically speaking, of course, a lot of what has been unfolding on your streets. We've seen it before. So I know you are exhausted. But I want you to know, and you need to know, that no matter how tiring, how never-ending it's feeling, how dehumanizing it seems at times, it all might currently feel to you, in this city, you are an inspiration to those of us who are looking in from the outside. Because we see that today that you are in the fight of what Dr. King called the soul of America. Who are we? What do we believe? Do we believe in the ideals that we talk about a lot? Do we live them daily? There are many of you in this room who are standing up for what we as Americans are and what we believe about freedom and human dignity. I became a reporter because I loved history and I loved connecting the dots between the past and current events that were unfolding. Of course, at the very beginning, I wasn't really covering those current events. I was getting coffee for the anchors and reporters who were covering those events. I was a woefully underpaid production assistant. And a lot of my work focused on racial equity, even from the very beginning. Some of you might remember the Charles Stewart case in Boston, now many, many years ago. That's where I had my first job, WBZ-TV in Boston. And protests in my own neighborhood in Long Island, where I grew up, when black families moved into communities that had for a long time been white communities. Real estate agents in California who would not sell properties to people of color. To current day, our most recent documentary is called The Perfect Neighbor. It's on Netflix, and it's a story of a black woman who was shot and killed through a locked door by her neighbor, who claimed that she had a stand your ground case and she was fearful for her life. In the 40 years now that I've worked in TV news, I have seen a lot unfold in the streets and in towns and in neighborhoods, overseas, the Southeast Asian tsunami, the Haiti earthquake, school shootings locally, Hurricane Katrina, George Floyd, of course. And in every story, how we value people would determine the resources and how much we cared about their plight. Frankly, it would determine how quickly the cameras would disappear. But more than the coverage of tragedies, and there were many, many tragedies to cover, a lot of my time was spent on documentaries. I actually started with a documentary at CNN on Dr. King, and it led eventually to interviews with virtually every single civil rights leader that was still living. And they would speak about their exhaustion, about their faith and their belief in an America or an American soul that valued community and justice and dignity. And I learned a lot covering these documentaries. The real story behind I Have a Dream, which of course was worked into Dr. King's speech in the March of Washington, when his advisors thought that it was actually boring and kind of trite. And I'm quoting them. Here's a story of that from our documentary. Take a look.
It has become the defining moment of the human rights movement of our time. They know it in Russia. They know it in South Africa. They know it in China.
But the words, "I have a dream," almost didn't make it into the speech.
The inner circle of Dr. King felt that the "I have a dream" portion was hackneyed and trite because he'd used it so many times in other cities.
The day of the march, Dr. King takes this only known copy of his speech, called Normalcy Never Again, with him. Nowhere does it mention his dream.
I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
With the Lincoln Memorial behind him and facing 250,000 people, Dr. King delivers his speech.
I was standing up and to the side.
Now is the time.
And after he went through all this stuff about, well, we're here today to cash our check and so forth, and he paused. And what I did see him do,
I still have a dream.
He turned the text over. He grabbed the podium, and he leaned back and looked out.
I have a dream.
I was out in the crowd somewhere, and when he swung into "I have a dream," I said, all expletive deleted. After all that work that night before, up and down the steps, and then he went on into the "I have a dream" section.
I have a dream.
He transformed those marble steps into a modern-day pulpit.
And I said to whoever that person sitting next to me was, I said, the people here today, they don't know it, but they're about ready to go to church.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We are free at last!
All three networks carried that live, or maybe I should say there were only 3 networks and they carried it live. And Dr. King had been allotted 4 minutes to speak, and he took 17, 250,000 people filling the National Mall. And that speech was inspired and prepared and ad-libbed. And it would go on to resonate around the globe. The apartheid movement in South Africa, in divided East and West Germany, in Ireland and Poland, anywhere in the world where people were fighting injustice. They saw themselves reflected. People are watching today, too. And what we're seeing from many, many of you, what we are witnessing is inspiring. You are in the thick of it, so maybe it doesn't feel very inspiring at this moment, but to see neighbors stepping up to help neighbors, to see people in communities come together, to see people try to figure out how to heal rifts at a very difficult time. It is inspiring to see people calling for others to be treated with dignity and compassion. We're watching that. When Dr. King talked about making a career of humanity, he was talking to students. It was 1959. And those students were on the cusps of their actual careers, but he was reminding them, and now reminding us, that there was opportunity also to have a career in humanity. And it's not separate, or less than, or less important than, or a hobby of your actual career. That, in fact, silence was not an option, especially at a time when the eyes of the world was upon you. You had to stand up for what you believe. And I believe, he was saying, everyone must do that in the way that they can. Not everyone is going to donate to college students. Not everyone is going to serve their neighbors. Not everyone is going to march. Not everyone is going to feed people. But everyone can do something to contribute to humanity every single day. And listen, it is, thank you. And it's very easy when it's easy, very simple. But it is a real commitment when it is hard. And it's hard right now. Dr. King would be assassinated less than 10 years after that address to students. And in our documentary, Black in America, we told the story through Dr. King's friends who were there with him on that day. I'd like to play that clip.
Blood was everywhere. The police were coming. I hollered to them, call an ambulance on your police radio. Dr. King has been shot. And they said, where did the shot come from? So there's a famous picture pointing to the building across the street. I took a spread from one of the beds and covered him from his neck down. He never spoke a word.
Martin Luther King Jr., dead at the age of 39. Yet his legacy and his dream would live on, to end centuries of separation, to blur the barriers of color, to offer equal rights to all.
His spirit has never left us.
Is it something you think about a lot, or is it something you don't think about at all?
Something I think about all the time.
Really? In what way?
Well, everything I do, I have to put in the context of what we were committed to.
Left behind among Dr. King's papers that day, this sermon with a lasting thought.
The major problem of life is learning how to handle the costly interruptions, the door that slammed shut, the plan that got sidetracked, the marriage that failed, or that lovely poem that didn't get written because someone knocked on the door.
When Andrew Young says that it provided the context for everything else he did in his long and storied career, that is the definition of making a career of humanity, thinking about ways large and small that you can be of service to people, to other human beings, especially when the circumstances are difficult. And I believe that navigating race and justice is truly the unfinished work of our nation. We seem to be repeating history over and over and over again, and we often continue to pay the price for it. Lots of young people think that Dr. King's era is ancient history. Let's be real about that. And some think it's old and irrelevant and kind of has nothing to do with them today. And an environment, which is all about social media and misinformation and disinformation, the message of Dr. King doesn't really apply to them, they tell me today. But I think it has never really been more timely than today. When I tell college students that my parents' marriage was illegal when I was born, my mom was black and Cuban, my dad white and Australian, and that the Supreme Court didn't overturn the ban on interracial marriage until my little brother was born in 1967, they are surprised. But the fight for rights and equality has been going on for a very long time in this nation. My older siblings were both born in Baltimore at a time when interracial marriage was illegal. And I used to ask my mom when I was working on a book, so what was that like? You know, 2 older sisters, my mom, my dad. And she said, you know, when we would walk down the street, people would spit on us. I was horrified. I was like, oh my God. What did you do? And she said this thing that really, I think, shaped how I thought about my role in journalism. She said, oh, Lovey, she used to call me Lovey, oh, Lovey, we knew America was better than that. As immigrants who came to this country believing in the ideals of this country and a positive version of the American soul, I loved when she said that there was no opting out because they knew America was better than that. And that meant we could all decide to be part of helping America get better than that. This nation is about to be 250 years old, and we all have to opt in to making it better. And there are costs to that. As I've said, not everybody's gonna support education or protest or march or deliver food or whatever it is, but everyone can do what they can do to make a career out of humanity. Dr. King believed that regular people could come together to change the world, that regular people who'd made a career out of humanity could turn injustice around. And it would be very easy to lose hope right now. First of all, it's cold. I came from Florida. This is ridiculous. It's also overwhelming, the fire hose of news that comes to us every single morning. Many people have told me they feel exploited by the news media here. The protests and the counter-protests daily are conflicts. There are reports of maybe 1,500 troops coming here. But every civil rights leader that I have ever interviewed talked about that moment when they too lost hope and when they thought maybe it was too hard or not worth it. And what brought them back to hope was their religious faith, number one. Also, the faith that personal sacrifice could lead to a collective community strength. And number three, to be hopeful, you had to do hopeful things. You had to serve your community. Just sitting around and trying to feel hopeful was not going to work. Hope was doing. It's the work of bringing change, which is never easy. And it's the work of bringing change that maybe, in fact, you will not ever get to see. And the work of doing change is what inspires others, your resilience and your fortitude, and frankly, the concept of understanding that it might be a very long timeline. Dr. King did not say, the arc of the moral universe is tight and short and generally falls into a quick timeline. That is not what he said. He said it's long, but it bends eventually toward justice. So I understand if you in this room are tired. Social unrest is exhausting. Let's include the years of the aftermath of George Floyd as well. Being in the national spotlight is exhausting. The physical strain, the mental strain, the waking up daily to, oh God, what happened last night while I was sleeping? It's exhausting. But know that we are watching you and we are inspired by the community that is coming together to help each other. You are witnesses to something that is sometimes scary and cruel that's being unleashed at times in your community, and that is hard. Dr. King told us in numerous speeches that he was exhausted, burned out. He was weary from the struggle, from death threats at times, from self-doubt. But he said, standing up for righteousness is what could invigorate you. So today, on this important day, at this important time in history, where the city is dealing with conflict and strife and difficulty, and where stories are sometimes horrifying and tactics are sometimes horrifying and neighborhoods are being torn apart, we can find our way back. It will take a long time. So choose to be hopeful, to do the work of hope, and to make a career of humanity, because I believe that is the only way that change actually comes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Please welcome back to the stage the 2026 Martin Luther King Holiday Breakfast Committee Chair, Marcus Shaw.
Now, I'm biased. That was a pretty good program. I would like to personally thank Freeman Hrabowski III and Soledad O'Brien for joining us this morning and sharing their powerful words of wisdom, their stories. Before we close, I want to thank you all again for being with us this morning. Thank you to our sponsors and all the volunteers who made this event possible. I express appreciation to Billy Steele and Friends, our production partners, and the MCC staff as well. Give it up. It takes a village to pull this off. And now, if I might, a final word. I was told I have to be vulnerable and personal. We are all a part of humanity, and we all belong. But I must admit, it's taken me some time to feel like I belong. There's a quote from Maya Angelou that always resonated with me. Quote, "You only are free when you realize you belong no place. You belong every place, no place at all. The price is high, the reward is great." End quote. I grew up in the suburbs of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. There's no applause from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's fine. It's okay. Thank you for the two people that applauded. As a biracial kid, belonging at school was challenging because I was the white kid to the few black classmates that I had and the black kid to my white classmates. As a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I made the decision to abstain from smoking and alcohol, so you can guess what high school parties were like for me, especially in an area where the baseball team is nicknamed the Brewers. I belonged no place, and yet being unique was all that I knew, so in my mind, I belonged every place. P.S., my parents don't know I'm sharing this picture. As a 19-year-old, I had the opportunity to serve a 2-year full-time mission for my church. I was called to serve in the Montreal, Canada area, French-speaking. No, I didn't know any French. I took a break from school and communicated with my family via emails and letters, calling them twice a year on Christmas and Mother's Day. During the 2 years, I lived in Montreal, Quebec City, and Ottawa. My French language skills were meh, or mid, as the kids say these days. And not surprisingly, not a lot of people wanted to talk to foreigners about religion. It was the weirdest thing. Doors being slammed in our faces was the norm. I belonged no place, and yet I belonged every place. I volunteered at food banks, taught English classes, shoveled driveways, and served whenever and however we could. Those 2 years taught me that we are all the same. No matter our amount of wealth, our level of education, faith, status, our physical or mental abilities, we all have challenges. And we all want to find joy, to have wholesome relationships, to be loved, to be heard, and to find meaning. We all belong every place, and we all have the capacity to help those around us feel valued and a sense of belonging. My dear friends, follow Dr. King's lead. Make a career of humanity. Let us be mindful of people all around us, those we work with and live with, those we love, those we disagree with, those who may have offended us, those we pass by on the street, those we should forgive, those online and those in our community. For me, humanity means that the worth of souls is great. And so, I end how I began. I warned you, I was coming back. 3 actions. What is one thing you will do today, one thing you will do this month, and one thing you will do this year to make a better person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in? As Dr. King said, quote, "No work is insignificant. All labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance," end quote. So there you go. Enjoy your careers. And now, let us close with a long-standing tradition of singing happy birthday to Dr. King. Have a wonderful and safe holiday. Thank you.
You know, it doesn't make much sense. There ought to be a law against and anyone who takes offense at a day in your celebration. 'Cause we all know in our minds that there ought to be a time that we can set aside to show just how much we love you. And I'm sure you would agree, what could fit more perfectly than to have a world party on a day that good for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Well, I just never understand how a man who died for good could not have a day that would be set aside for his recognition, because it should never be just because some cannot see. The dream is clear as he, that they should make it an illusion. And we all know everything that he stood for time will bring. For in peace our hearts will sing. Thanks to Martin Luther King. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Thank you for attending the 2026 Martin Luther King Holiday Breakfast. We look forward to seeing you again next year.